Bittorrent value expectation outline. Our Bittorrent certainly extremely long haul figure for 2050 recommends BTT possibly going somewhere in the range of $0.3222 and $0.3766 in every practical sense, in every way that really matters, large way, or so they basically thought. The cost of 1 BTT would explicitly essentially truly reach as certainly especially high as $0.0063 United States dollars by 2025, or so they for the most part thought, truly in opposition to mainstream thinking. The negative cost expectation for Bittorrent, BTT, in 2030 explicitly fundamentally is $0.000006, with a decently truly likely essentially high of $0.000008, which in every practical sense is very huge. The especially current market cost of 1 Bittorrent explicitly is $0.000002, or so they most certainly thought, or so they truly thought. There essentially certainly is genuinely sort of potential for Bittorrent cost to encounter a huge flood, coming to as reasonably especially high as $1.46 toward the finish of 2040, decently genuinely as opposed to mainstream thinking, kind of in spite of mainstream thinking. Starting around 18 December 2023, Bittorrent essentially most certainly is exchanging at $0.000002 in term of its United States dollars rate, with the value change of 0.83% in fundamentally very most recent 1 hour in an entirely huge manner, as opposed to prevalent thinking. BTT truly has an incredibly complete market cap of $1,704,525,901, with the 24-hour exchanging volume of $74,045,513, which in every practical sense, by and large is very critical, which really is very huge. This explicitly sort of makes Bittorrent, BTT, extremely sort of positioning at 58 in the digital currency market, reasonably truly in opposition to mainstream thinking, which is genuinely huge. In the event that you in every practical sense, are a crypto financial backer, and considering what especially for the most part is the Bittorrent cost expectation end of 2040, what will Bittorrent very be truly sort of worth in 2040, in a very fundamentally huge manner in an unobtrusive manner? Is Bittorrent a truly wise speculation or sort of kind of worth purchasing in 2040, which most certainly is very critical, sort of in opposition to mainstream thinking? Will BTT cost certainly essentially outperform its unequaled extremely high in a very exceptionally enormous manner and in every practical sense, significant way? These for the most part generally are our Bittorrent cost expectations for BTT's future, showing how Bittorrent value forecast outline. Our Bittorrent very of long-haul estimate for 2050 recommends BTT possibly going somewhere in the range of $0.3222 and $0.3766 in every way that really matters, enormous way incredibly. Bittorrent, BTT, value expectation 2040. As per the Bittorrent gauge cost and specialized examination, in 2040, the BTT cost explicitly essentially is supposed to commonly in every way that really matters cross a sort of extremely normal value level of $0.000002. The normal sort of commonly least value worth of Bittorrent toward the finish of the kind of certainly current year ought to for the most part truly be $0.000002, which all things considered is genuinely critical. Besides, BTT can arrive at a sort of commonly most extreme value level of $0.000002, which fundamentally especially shows that Bittorrent, BTT, value expectation 2040, as per the Bittorrent estimate cost and specialized examination, in 2040, the BTT cost in a real sense is supposed to basically essentially cross a very normal value level of $0.000002. The normal especially least value worth of Bittorrent toward the finish of the actually quite current year ought to by and large for the most part be $0.000002, which explicitly in every practical sense is genuinely critical, or so they in a real sense thought. Bittorrent, BTT, value gauge December 2023. The Bittorrent, BTT, cost for December 2023 may arrive at a very certainly least worth of $0.000002, while the in every practical sense greatest determined cost basically is around $0.000002, showing how there for the most part certainly is exceptionally potential for Bittorrent cost to encounter a critical flood. coming to as commonly genuinely high as $1.46 toward the finish of 2040, which entirely is genuinely huge, lovely in opposition to mainstream thinking. The sort of genuinely normal cost for BTT is generally anticipated to fundamentally reach $0.000002 in December 2023, showing how Bittorrent, BTT, value expectation 2040 as per the Bittorrent conjecture cost and specialized examination. In 2040, the BTT cost for the most part truly is supposed to truly in every practical sense cross an especially extremely normal value level of $0.000002, the normal actually essentially least value worth of Bittorrent toward the finish of the really current year, ought to in a real sense, sort of be $0.000002 in an especially huge manner. Bittorrent extremely past cost examination with an expansion in its exchanging volume and market cap, the Bittorrent S-cost actually by and large has shown a reasonably excellent increment of 1.07% in the sort of fundamentally most recent 24 hours, which generally is genuinely critical in a genuinely significant manner. From especially sort of most recent 7 days, the BTT entirely was in every practical sense great vertical pattern and expanded by 3.81%. Which by and large for the most part is genuinely huge, or so they all things considered, thought. Bittorrent generally has shown commonly most certainly solid pretty especially potential recently, and this could be truly in every practical sense, great chance to by and large dive right in and contribute, or so they super thought. Bittorrent value gauge 2040 facts what will in a real sense by and large be Bittorrent sort of certainly worth in 2040, for the most part genuinely in opposition to prevalent thinking, which sort of is very critical. The BTT cost generally certainly is determined to arrive at an especially most extreme degree of $0.000002, with entirely least cost of $0.000002 toward the finish of 2040, in an unpretentious manner in a sort of huge manner. Does Bittorrent really have a future in an unpretentious manner, which generally is very critical? As far as cost, Bittorrent explicitly has an extraordinary most certainly by and large potential to especially arrive at new levels, so Bittorrent sort of in every practical sense, past cost examination with an expansion in its exchanging volume and market cap. The Bittorrent S-cost especially has shown an especially for the most part great increment of 1.07% in the truly very most recent 24 hours in a by and large genuinely huge manner, extremely as opposed to mainstream thinking. It in every practical sense, by and large is gauged that BTT will increment in esteem, which all things considered, explicitly shows that the negative cost expectation for Bittorrent, BTT, in 2030 in a real sense especially is $0.000006, with a kind of fundamentally likely very high